All right, YouTube, today's video, we're going to be breaking down Lautaro Martinez, the striker from Argentina, from Inter Milan. Is he the player missing? Is he the jigsaw for your team? Let's find out right now, starting off with the coin balance, 15,000 coins, and what you're going to get for that exchange of value. You're going to be getting in a 88 rated striker from the Serie A, 5'9", controlled acceleration type, 4-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot. This card has 81 pace, which is okay, you know, depending on how you want to utilize him. You're not going to be able to abuse the pace on the card, but it's enough to get around, beat the defenders on the turn. 88 shooting, which is incredible. Anyone with 88 shooting is going to be a very, very big threat for the opponent's goal, and that's what you want for your number 9. But you have 75 passing. Again, you can get away with it. You're not looking for someone that's going to be, you know, incisive for your through balls like a Cam. This striker needs to be on the end of the passes more than actually physically giving those incredible balls. So I'm okay with him being 75 passing. 84 dribbling, you can get away with that. Again, when you look at 15,000 coins, I mean, we have to be careful here the way we analyze this card, because he's not going to be compared to the, you know, to Dembele and Mbappe. This is a 15,000 coin card. And when I look at these cards, I look at something more detailed than the game stats. I look at how they play, and I have to say this card was incredible in game. So let's break down some of his positives. Okay, starting off with his play style, one of the biggest positives he has, especially if you can utilize this, which I didn't. Okay, and I want to talk about it right here because I actually just scored with it. So Martinez actually has the Trivela playstyle. So if you look at his card, he has something called Game Changer Plus. So this is what happens. If you see right here, look at this position here. So I got Dybala on the left. And this is where, when you have those players with a Trivela playstyle, you want to point the ball into the far post and just hold L2 and shoot. And you see it goes in, right? And that's something that I need to do more with Martinez when I'm on the right-hand side. So this is like right here, for example, because they're a bit closer, doesn't matter. But you want to use your Trivelas to the left from the deep right area, and when you're coming from the left hand side, I can just finesse it. You saw it right there. This is a great example. You just saw it right here, actually. Look at this. So this is the first goal. Go back again, and this is where the Trivela is really useful, is shooting like right there. Look at that. So when I actually shoot near post there, I just did a normal shot near post, the Trivela activates, and so you have a higher chance of going in. So the reason I really like that is because not many strikers have that. So it offers something a little bit different. And you can combine that with, you know, sometimes using that shot and then sometimes tricking the defenders and going the other way with a finesse shot. But overall, like, you have a good range because of the Game Changer Plus, Trivela, which is really nice. The next pro is I wrote his agility and his smaller build. I didn't quite realize how small he was in game. I don't know why. I thought he was bigger, but he's 5'9". When you have someone that's 5'9" with 88 agility, you're going to get more of a small, agile striker. If you have the same player with 6'3", he doesn't feel good. He feels clunky on the ball. In FIFA, you always want the players that are smaller for your dribbling. Look at that. Look at that goal. This was a perfect example. I want to show you guys that one again. This is exactly what I mean to my point, okay? Agile and good dribbling. Look at this. So we left stick here. Just left stick. Look, we turn around one way, turn around again, turn around again, into the gaps. All I do is use my left stick then again Trivela into the corner. And I felt like that combination was something that not a lot of other players have, which is why I was like kind of catching people off guard. It felt really nice. And his shooting was so good as well, with 93 finishing. So that's the third pro, his shooting. I mean, 93 finishing, it was great. His positioning was great with 92. And again, like I said, in terms of the range of shots as well, you're seeing a lot of my shots were kind of like normal power shots, kind of near post, because of that Trivela, which again a lot of other strikers don't have. So you kind of can play a little bit different, because you can see the way people were defending, they expect you to maybe go for a finesse or a low driven, but most of the time I was just going for that Trivela, and it was going in most of the time as well. Look at this pass right here from De Bruyne. Great pass into Martinez, going in again. Could have done a little fake shot to the left there, but he was in so many good positions. His overall positioning was excellent. His awareness was great. He was beating defenders. Look at that. Look at that goal. Boom. Straight header from Martinez. And for 15,000 coins, I mean, you can't really complain, to be honest with you. I did write a couple of cons, but they weren't major. I mean, even that goal, look at that. The way he took that finish was incredible. Even the runs he was making, the natural runs, every time, look at that one little step back to De Bruyne, heavy touch in, and it's another goal, and that's an assist from him as well. Him and De Bruyne as a combination were incredible. And if you actually think about the coin difference, like Martinez was 15k, De Bruyne was 200k. He was so fun to use. But when you look at Martinez, 15k, such a good striker. If you look at a serial striker, like, I can't lie, like, I think he's a really good option, especially if you can use him and save some coins for someone else. I think he was a great option. I didn't have any complaints with him. When I wrote pace as his con, that The reason why, let me explain this one. So many people in FC just kind of try to abuse pace and just kind of run with the striker. It doesn't really work like that, especially with like Martinez. But what you can do is this. Look at this. We get the ball. Look at that. You take a touch round, and then you could take like a heavy touch into the space and slow down with the dribble, go another way, and then slow down. So you can use pace if you combine dribbling with it and slow down and speed up. But you can't just kind of run with him, expecting him to just run past defenders. That's where you're going to go wrong. But if you receive the ball like that, slow down, and then take a heavy touch, you can get away with it. So the reason I wrote pace there is because it's more of a skill gap thing. If you are trying to just run past defenders and just not really use your brain and kind of just trying to go through and rely on that play style, that's fine. But you're going to need a faster attacker with that 90 plus pace like that. That goes through sometimes in scenarios, and you can be smart with it. But again, you have to know how you're playing with it. So I would say that his pace is really, really limited in those areas if you're going to rely on it. But if you're a smart player and you use it sometime, look, most of the goals we have, you can see we're actually slowing down. Look at that. That was such a good opportunity, but we're actually slowing down and then we're speeding up when we need to. So his pace isn't really an issue. The next one is no low driven or finesse. Again, that's kind of like, if I'm being really picky here, most attackers, I would like to have at least one low driven or finesse. The fact that he has none, it kind of, in some clinical scenarios where you're going to go for like a low driven or a finesse, probably more expensive strikers were more optimal. But again, if you can use a Trivela, you get away with that. Like, he still has one shooting play style. It's just an uncommon one. I would have liked as well if he had low driven and finesse, again, as a kind of a negative, but it's not a big negative. You can definitely get away with that. Look at that as well. Like, that type of goal, that's how you use him. You get him in those positions. Look at this. That was a great shot by Dybala, but look what we do. We get the ball. We dribble around. We just left stick dribbling into space, and you get away with it. Like, his dribbling is so nice. I would say that, well, that's one thing. His dribbling looks like, 84. It felt like 86 to 88, to be honest with you. That's something I will say, that his dribbling felt nicer than his card shows. I'm going to give his card a 9.5. I mean, considering how cheap he was as well, for 15,000 coins, I feel like he's a gem. I really do. I feel like he's a bit of a gem. He didn't feel like he was dragging my team down at all. He felt like he was completely a part of the attack. And again, like I said, considering I had De Bruyne for 200k, having like a striker, like you want a striker to be able to finish the chances, and he was doing that. He was doing that really well. So in 18 games, he scored 14 goals and 8 assists, all in division rivals. And I think he did a great job. His output was really, really good. And for 15,000 coins, I looked at this card like I got a bargain. I never looked at this card like, this ain't worth it. No, that was never a thought. Literally from game one, it was like, oh, this card is solid. And it just impressed me throughout. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, the player review. If you did, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys for tomorrow. We'll do some more player reviews. So I'll catch you guys then.